Today we're going to be learning how to basically start creating a layout, just the basics as far as page setup, and what should be on a yearbook spread. So the first thing, whenever you have a page setup or a spread, I usually like to establish some guidelines. So if you go to view, if you go up to layout, you can go to margins and columns. And then down here in columns, you can see if I raise this number, there's going to be a lot of like different guides that I can use. I usually like keeping it around 12, 11, around there. So it can be sort of like a guide for creating my layout. Of course, you don't have to keep to these guides, but it's just something I like to use. So when I create a layout, I use this tool called the rectangle frame tool, but there's different types of tools you can use here. Basically what that does is if you set this as a black and then without a stroke on this, if you were to drag this box, or let's just say we'll drag it across the page, make it a dominant photo, you're going to see it crosses and it got rid of that black, but you can just put it back on. You can see that it now has a black box with the square or the cross in it. And then you can basically do that with the photos that you have an idea of where you want to go in the spread. And then I showed in another video, with these frames, you can actually place photos in them. So it's basically kind of framing the layout as far as pictures go. Um, so basically you can put these wherever you want, assemble them however, and that's with the frame tool. Then the next thing you can do is with your text, if you know you have a copy that you want, you can just make a text box and then right click, place with placeholder text, and then you can have this kind of idea that you're going to have copy here. Of course, you don't have to keep it like style wise for now, but you can if you want to, but just have an idea that you're going to have some copy there. Of course, you can edit these frames, make it however you want, and you can also add kind of placeholder text for captions as well. And then remember, we can do right click, fill with placeholder text, um, and that's pretty much it. Basically, with the frame tool, you can create the photos that you want, and with the text box tool, you can place, you can place placeholders, just basically so you can get an idea. And of course, is kind of like a living draft, so nothing has to stay the same, even if you create these boxes. It's basically so that you have an idea, maybe the direction that the spread is going to be. For example, like I could have a headline here, make that font a lot bigger, and I could literally type headline, leave it like that, and that's pretty much it. And these columns right here will help you kind of assemble everything. So that's all for this video.